Now, with those great outcomes, right, there's also the flip side to it. When they're not used in the best way, maybe in an ethical way, or there's some bias that's always going to be there because they're made by people. But how do you then address, when we're talking about integrating these AI solutions into customer experience, those concerns about the bias that could be in the solutions or the ethical use of AI? So now we've said, well, we're using these technologies to remove the human bias of just when you have the inclusionness and opportunity there. But when you build the products, there's still inherently a potential for bias or unethical uses of the AI. How do you see that being addressed?
Yeah, so it's a critical question in AI as a general, right? So Cogito takes two approaches. One is sort of how we think about the application of the technology, and one is sort of the application of technical approaches. So there are a range of technical approaches that you can use to demonstrate the fairness of your models, right? And a lot of it comes down to how you manage the data that goes into training those models, right? We take great care. But there's also statistical techniques you can do to adjust for the impact of training data. So if you have a lower representation of data from a certain group, you can make certain model changes to kind of account for that. Cogito, I think, was the first organization to publish on gender bias in emotion AI. One of the first organizations to really show how you can ensure, because in voice, vocal cords are different, right? Male and female, it's just different, right? And so if you don't think about that, you're going to end up with a bias model. And so we developed some original techniques to deal with that. So I put that on the technical side. The other fundamental, and I think this really, human interactions are complex. They can go in lots of different ways. And sometimes we underestimate how complex they are. We think, oh, it's a simple workflow. We're just going to check a balance or something. It's never like that, right? There's much more to it. It's somebody's whole life is wrapped up in this, right? There's nothing simple about them. And so you've got to be careful not to overestimate the capabilities of AI, right? Like I like to say, okay, let's say we have a model and that model is 99% accurate. That's a technical triumph, but it's still wrong 1 in 100 times. And how many calls do we manage? Millions, right? So that's the nature of these things, right? So how do we deal with it as Cogito? And the answer is human in the loop, right? So because I guess we're conservative about what AI can do, is we position ourselves as an assistant to a human. And we do this across the thing. So we're always allowing for the fact that the AI may not understand a piece of context that it's supposed to understand. It's not perfect in every case. So it's really viewed as a partnership, always a partnership between the human and the AI, and the human rules, right? The human wins, the human always decides, but the AI assists, right? And that's, I think, that's sort of a mental model. And that's one of the reasons we followed into one of these application areas, is just this kind of recognition that, at the end of the day, there's statistics behind all this stuff, and statistics isn't always perfect, right?